Duck. 2 skaters in the box for Puget Sound. Full complement of blockers for Magic City. We got a lead jammer. It's 1X, Chuck Best.
And it looks like everybody's had time to regroup during that timeout. Chuck Hendrick hot on his tail, not letting him get away at all. Magic City trying to slow it up. John Weichel and Christopher Harrell here at the back trying to slow up that pack.
Chuck Best calling it.
Of course, Chuck Hendrick, like I said, so close. So we're back to our beginning comments where they're really going to need to keep an eye on that. And as we've said before, the penalties and things like that are what's killing that side of the bout. So
you got to keep yourself out of the box.
Puget Sound's pivot still in the box.
As is your cyber mechanic.
Yes, indeed. Christopher Harrell, as many of you may know, my other half and I are on a cross-country trek in our RV.
It's pretty awesome.
We're about 2-3 months have we been on the road, so.
All right, so we got Streak jamming for Magic City. And who is he facing off against? That's Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck, as many of you may not know, his family grows organic garlic.
Wow, wouldn't have guessed.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Here on the mic.
I love a good fun fact. All right, out of play, they say. Ryrod's going to have to let him go. Lead jammer goes to Jeremy Strecker, number 19 of Magic City Misfits. And in the box, unfortunately, is number 45, Jason Mosley.
Getting a big hit there from Speed Dealer, but managing to stay on his skates and inbounds.
It's weird how he does that so well.
It's kind of like he floats a little bit. Thunderstruck keeping on him. He's going to just pass Puget and call off the jam. Very, very nicely done.
Is that 1 point awarded?
2 points.
2 points,
for
thank you.
Magic City, yep. Weird angle there.
Yeah.
We are on a cross-country trek. St. Louis is a little pit stop for us to announce this tournament, which I'm so lucky to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel, exactly.
Crazy.
I didn't quite drive across the country, but I got out of work last night. We drove straight here, myself, Justice Feelgood Marshall, and one of our league mates from Windy City Rollers, Rusty Razor Skates.
Think fast, man.
Yeah, we drove here from Chicago late last night, got here super early, got here, and we're all just in dreamland. Not because we're tired, but because we can't believe the derby action we're seeing.
Exactly.
Whoa,
John Weichel
Cougar
up for Magic City there. And did you say Cougar bait?
Well, Cougar bait almost went out of bounds, but he had amazing magnets in his toe stops, clearly. John Weichel did pick up a minor track cut for that, so we are going to have, once again, a full 2-minute jam. Pretty exciting when that happens between these two teams.
Boy, a lot of that going around for this bout. Little minor penalties.
You know, and
racking up.
The blockers are so agile. They're forcing these minor track cuts from the jammers. But the thing that I love about these teams is that the jammers are so aware that they realize, you know what, it's just a minor. I'm going to take it. It's worth it.
Well, and it's very much like basketball in that respect, where you have the intentional penalty, where you just draw the penalty and you know you're just going to grab it and you're just going to work around it. And that's the way it is. Looks like we lost a toe stop there. One of our excellent ref volunteers grabbing that. Not sure whose it was.
Well, if they're in green, they don't need it. They're not. They usually don't skate without it.
Exactly. John Weichel taking a little tumble, but jumping back up. Chuck Best doing what he does best, really, and that's a sort of backwards blocking.
Were you talking about everything?
Well, everything. But Chuck Best was the one who sort of popularized that backwards block look right there.
Certainly.
And
so just the tip. I mean, TJ
Binkley.
Binkley.
I'm just gonna keep making the joke. I really am.
We're just gonna make every name we can for you, TJ Tanner from Full House fame. He's in the penalty box, unfortunately, but out of the pack now is John Weichel. Stand aside, approaching the back of the pack. Stand aside, air blocked Jason Mosley. He had such a quick maneuver around him. Jason
tried to jump aside, and it didn't work. We got TJ in the box there making penalty calls, trying to call those. John Weichel being pushed out of bounds again, and the end of that jam has happened on its own. Little fun fact about Magic City, they actually have players from Florida, Kansas City, and TJ Binkley just moved to Phoenix, Arizona.
I know, yeah. He's he's working for...
He is working.
Works with Adamatrix, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Stevo.
And he's loving his new job, I guess, is what he told me earlier.
Yeah.
And he really loves being in Phoenix. He misses the guys, I think, but I think he loves being in Phoenix. So.
Well, and that's why they're called Magic City, because magically they can all live in separate cities yet play together so well.
And I did ask him that, and he said, they've been playing together for so long that it's really like riding a bicycle. They all get back together, and it's like they've been together for months, Let's see. Who do I have zipping around the back there? It's hard to see. I can see it's Ryrod from one team, and it looks like Derek Calkins from Magic City who's taking a big tumble over the top of 100 there.
That's Scott Slamilton.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ryrod out for lead jammer.
Ryrod taking
Powder.
Yeah, taking a big jump around Powder there, and Powder taking a little bit of a tumble, but Ryrod not even noticing it. Oh, dear. Derek
going to the
Calkins.
box for a 4th minor. Perfect opportunity for Puget to get some points on the board.
Ryrod going to try and get around TJ Binkley there on the side, but not able to do it. His team not giving him a lot of help there, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're going to
opening up some holes for him.
It looks like they're going to need a more proactive offense.
TJ Binkley managing to push Ryrod all the way back to the pack by himself. So Ryrod trying to get further up.
Megasaurus going to the penalty box. Ryrod almost out. TJ taking him just to the infield right there. Jam gets called.
Ryrod I think wondering what exactly happened there. TJ, like you said, pushing him out of bounds, but then he tried calling it off and it didn't quite get called off and it didn't stop. So I think he was a little confused as to how that play ended.
So we're getting a team timeout charged to the bench of Magic City, I believe. I believe it is time to talk about some more of our lovely sponsors.
Oh, well, should we talk about Green Monster since we're talking about green things? Green Monster, the land of no vowels, but very excellent customer service.
Yeah, they are beyond awesome. They don't just give you those awesome Derby products, though. They give you confidence. I mean, have you seen Quadzilla skate, by the way?
Oh, definitely.
Have you seen Short Bus skate, by the way? All the people that are involved in Green Monster,
I used to announce for Twin Cities Terrors, and Short Bus he's terrifying. He's absolutely a frightening person.
I love that dude.
And he's my height. I mean, I'm a very short person, and he's my height, and he's terrifying to be around because you don't think he can do the things he can, and then he pulls it out, and you just
like magic.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just really frightening. And he's such a great personality. I mean, he knows his product so well. He wants everybody to have good quality stuff, and he's always willing to talk to you about it and hang out with you about it. And so that's so cool. And he and Quadzilla, 2 totally different personality types, and you can just chat with both of them, no problem. So,
and every brand that they've worked with is just, it gets better and better and better.
Oh, definitely.
First came the Antic, then Green Monster, then Reckless Wheels. I mean, just everything that they put their heart and their mind and their soul into, it's very reflective because it is such excellent customer service, and you are always satisfied with your product. And if you're not, they will fix it till you are. They are phenomenal.
They definitely will. Back to roller derby. Thought that was going on today.
Who knew? All right, we got Corey Payne jamming unopposed because we do have Derek Calkins in the box. Corey Payne does a 360 and boom, in with a kill is Powder, Christopher Smith.
TJ Binkley trying to block him and Powder just picking up the back end of that. That's how they work so well as a team, is you can just see how these guys play off each other. Corey Payne finally through that pack and trying to get up towards the front, of course, right before Derek Calkins gets released, but he is running up against some really excellent Puget Sound defense.
Yeah, Radilak skating backwards, trying to Ironman his teammates, where you have 2 blockers skating forward and 1 blocker skating backwards, kind of supporting each other. Around the outside, woof, a
Derek
big swoop
Calkins
and miss.
just avoiding blockers left and right as they try and come after him.
Corey Payne out of the pack again. And the jam gets called by Corey. 4 more points added to their total. 60 on the board for Puget Sound, 137 for Magic City, 22-23 on the clock.
So really, it's still anyone's game. That's not a very big point differential, especially in a place
Magic
where you
City
can.
or Puget Sound's game. Anyone's not playing
exactly.
Today.
It's just well, you could win. We could toss skates on you.
Well, we clearly win.
We always win.
Duh. So we got some winners on the jam line.
We win just watching all of this, I think.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm thinking since I can't see who's back there, it's probably Chuck Best.
It is Chuck Best and Speed Dealer.
What a great matchup, though, right?
Yeah, certainly.
I mean, Speed Dealer just so quick, zipping out of their lead jammer. Chuck Best getting caught in behind Chuck Hendrick, and looks like Scott Slamilton there, but he is able to sneak past. Gino Evil needs to let him go. Chuck Best just riding that line. Speed Dealer showing us a little bit of zippy work.
There you go. Even Chuck was looking at him going, did you just do that, dude?
The great thing, I was in Olympia earlier this year, just a few months ago, and I had an opportunity to get jumped over by Speed Dealer. He likes to jump over people.
Oh, yeah, he does. That's his thing.
And so I was laying on the ground, and I had a chance to get jumped over by him.
It's kind of like an honor.
It's a freaky experience,
yeah,
but it's
sure
so
is.
cool.
Yeah.
He said, do you want to lay on the ground while I jump over you? And I said, sure.
The answer is yes.
Why not?
All right, so we got Cougar Bait jamming for Puget Sound up against Derek Calkins.
Cougar Bait really impressing me in this bout. Wow, he's just pulling out all the stops. For somebody who's had so little actual bout experience, it's just amazing to watch him. TJ Binkley taking on Radillac at the back of the pack. Derek Calkins coming out the front there. Cougar Bait caught in behind Magic City.
But as you were saying, Cougar Bait, wow, see that right there, taking a hit from streak like that, staying on your skates, staying focused, staying in bounds. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of bouting experience, but you would not know that by watching him in this game and every other game.
I definitely wouldn't. I would think he'd been doing this for a lot longer, and especially against a team like Magic City.
Can you imagine how brutal and fast he's going to be? And he is so agile as is. Give him a year or two more of full-on bouting experience like this, he's going to be a very scary skater.
And I keep thinking this about all the new talent that I've seen come in. I mean, it's such a different skating style, and yet you're skating with this team of really experienced guys who you're picking up all these tips from, and just think of what's going to happen in 5 years. It's going to be a totally new game.
Oh, and that's what's so beautiful about our sport is that it is so young, it is so organic, it just keeps regenerating itself in different ways.
Rare
year
appearance
after year after year.
Rare appearance by Christopher Smith here on the jam line, getting a big block from Corey Payne. Corey Payne knowing he's going to get the penalty, just thinking, he nodded at the ref and smiled.
I kind of looked at that as Corey Payne said, oh, come on, they're going to call me on this. It kind of looked like a little Dennis Rodman maneuver on the part of Powder. Kind of what you call the flop when people flop.
Definitely.
It was definitely a dramatic fall. I'm just glad he's okay. And Corey, he knew it, that he was going to get the call.
Yeah, he's kind of smiled at the ref, and he was like, yeah, I'm going. It's cool.
Julia, you know what makes me smile other than announcing with you? How every dude on the track is rocking some pink. Have you noticed this?
I have. Why is that, do you think?
All of Magic City has awesome pink sweatbands that they're wearing some wristicuffs. You know why? What do they love?
I would have to guess that they love titties, but that's just because
what do they hate?
I really want to say that on the microphone, so my apologies. That's the last time I'll say it, y'all.
But what do they hate?
I'm thinking they probably hate things like, breast cancer.
Possibly. Oh, yeah. You know who also hates it? Puget Sound.
Who would have guessed?
Pretty much every member of both these teams has pink infused into their uniform in some way. So thanks to the guys for supporting breast cancer research. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is October. If you haven't checked your boobs lately, do yourself a favor, do your family members a favor.
Definitely.
Hey, guys, too. It affects men, too, unfortunately.
Well, and what I love is that it was completely accidental. Both of these teams did that completely independently of each other and showed up with pink. And I think
they are
it's so
facing
cool.
each other. That's so rad.
Cool. And I love how they support the ladies that they know.
They surely do.
They're just a bunch of really classy guys out here. 8 really classy teams that we're seeing face each other.
And we got Thunderstruck, picked up 4 points on that last pass. Let's see how many Derek's going to get. That's 4 points as well. Derek Calkins jamming for Magic City. We got 68 on the board for Puget Sound, 147 for Magic City. Big hit. Megasaurus goes down. He doesn't really go down hardly ever. Well,
every once in a while, but that was a big hit from Chuck Hendrick. And when a guy like Mega goes down, that's a rough gig.
That's a big fall, yeah.
Thunderstruck just cruising around. He grew out his hair since I last saw him, so I'm still getting used to that and recognizing him from the back.
Just to make it a little more metal.
And he's just tried to pull through the inside there and get that little apex jump. It didn't quite do it, and Derek Calkins balancing on the left skate around the inside of the track. Oh, my goodness.
Oh. Okay,
Megasaurus taking another big hit from
for the record.
Val Capone throwing off.
No, my headphones came off from my reaction. For the record, Corey Payne hit Megasaurus so hard that it made me bounce back and my headphones flew off my head.
Welcome to men's roller derby, ladies and gentlemen.
Where even the announcers can feel the hits. Wow. That was awesome.
If you are not in this arena, you have the second best seat in the house because Val Capone and I have first best seat in the house.
We win at life. All right, 80 on the board for
even Justice Feelgood Marshall is looking at me like I'm crazy over here. Val Capone's microphones and stuff are flying everywhere.
I mean, stuff is getting weird.
And this arena is dead silent. Like, I can't hear people. I can't see people cheering. They're all just, like, sitting on the edge of their seats staring at what's going on the track.
It's like they're looking at a painting in a museum.
It is. It's amazing.
Instead of a Monet, it's a Mosquet.
Chuck Best and Quadzilla up to the line. First time we've seen the mashup. This is going to be amazing.
Quadzilla has not really, I don't believe he's jammed at all yet. No, he has not.
He's been blocking a lot more this year than he usually does, and he's just been utilizing that really well. He manages to stay on his skates as he's pushed out Chuck Best up against Bonus Jonas and Scott Slamilton, but they have to let him go. He just keeps pushing for it. Chuck Hendrick trying to give Quadzilla a trip through. Whoa!
Best gets out, gets lead jammer. Quadzilla just gave Julia the Childless a heart attack.
Quadzilla taking a leap, basically, over Mike Coward's Chef.
Yeah.
And he will get the penalty for that, for the trip up. But
Chef drawing out that penalty. Nice work, nice agile Chef as always. Quadzilla goes past the point of no return. As we talked about earlier, Meow Mix, the bench coach for Magic City, pointed to the floor and pointed away. Yep. She just kept doing that until the officials said, nope, take the long road home,
Definitely.
son.
And she's like that with her own team, too. For those of you out there who are not familiar with Meow Mix, she is a stickler for the rules. Her team, anybody's team. And she wants it to go well.
And that's what makes a winning team. Not just the skaters, but the actual team that's on the bench.
I'm glad to see her on her feet again and not on crutches. At Spring Roll, she was on crutches and she was hobbling around. I thought for sure once or twice she was either going to whack somebody with her crutches or fall over because she kept leaning on them the wrong way. So,
well, but what I'm saying is, like, you have to have a complete team, not just the skaters that are on the track. The skaters that are on the bench, the bench managers, the support staff, everything. And Magic City has a really great program, I think.
They are amazing. Boy, they just have really supportive people. They have supportive fans. They have people that come with them to every tournament I've been at, and they do everything from man the t-shirt stand to bench coach. It's just amazing. Looks like we're having a little bit of a timeout. They're having a discussion here. Megasaurus up on his feet, ready to jump back in when his penalty is over. We got 2 people in the penalty box for Puget Sound, so we're working on a short pack for them. And it looks like Ryrod trying to take on Mike Cowart there as he comes around.
And Chef is jamming for the first time tonight.
And I know that he's an amazing jammer, but they don't utilize him very much because he's such a phenomenal blocker. Ryrod giving him a beautiful hit out. Ryrod backing way up, but getting a big jump from Megasaurus. So Mike able to come back in, but he is getting jostled around something severe by Puget Sound.
Mike is dealing with Speed Dealer at the top. He got lead jammer. He did pick up 4 points, called the jam. You know what? I'd say that's a good call on Mike's part. He's got Chef has a lot more derby cooking up this weekend. So
definitely. And he was getting jostled around very severely by Puget Sound, just laying it on him. And he's so fast, it's really the only way to stop him.
At one point there was only one blocker out there, and it was Strecker, Jeremy Strecker. Streak was the lone blocker out there. Streak was smart enough to stay back away from Puget Sound so that there was no pack. They had to let Chef go. Chef gets out, okay, the chicken dance is going on.
I'm not dancing.
There's nothing more distracting when you're doing analysis than
the score is 164 to 80, Magic City, for those of you. And then Val Capone can recover her senses here after the chicken dance is gone. I don't see anybody chicken dancing.
Oh, no, you got to look at.
We got some of the guys from your
Wrecking
mom.
Bill is fist pumping in the air. Was that for the chicken dance? What is going on? Stunt Rocker was going crazy in the audience. All right, wait, we got to.
There we go. Now we got him going. The folks from your mom up in the stands here in St. Louis doing the chicken dance. Who
does the chicken dance? Your mom.
I swear I wasn't going to make any of those jokes this weekend, but that one was too easy.
How are you going to lie to yourself like that?
I know, right?
Why would you lie to Derby Nation? What did they do to you?
That's a chicken dance and your mom joke combined. I can't let that go.
Duh.
That's terrible. That would just be a crime. So it's getting a little weird here in St. Louis for those of you
on occasion,
who are not actually here, which is which is kind of a bummer for you and awesome for us that we are here.
Yep.
Again, just a big shout out to volunteers, including referees, non-skating officials, medical personnel, people that are manning the stands, that guy that's sweeping the track. I mean, Wrecking Bill was standing by the door with a bag saying he was the garbage guy earlier. And I just said, Bill, every volunteer position is important, and I mean it.
But he said it in caps lock's form.
He did. He actually got him a button. I got him the button that says, "Don't make me go all caps locks on you."
That's so excellent.
So I knew as soon as I saw it. But I mean, the volunteers are so important. Nobody can do this without volunteers and people that work hard behind the scenes. And the skaters know that, and they're great about it.
You know, the people that work really hard, I'm looking at a lot of them right now in some powder blue shirts and some black and white stripes. The men and women that make up the officiating staff of the MRDA, thank you so much for working so hard on behalf of each and every one of us.
And what makes it great is you don't notice them because you're not supposed to, and they make it that way, and that means they're doing their job right.
I'd like to say a personal thank you and a little bit of love to Bambi Lance. She's a very, very huge asset to Derby Nation. I don't know if you're familiar with her, viewers at home. If you're not, it's probably because she's doing such a good job you haven't noticed
Bambi is not only a referee, for those of you who probably may not know what Val Capone is talking about, but she also heads up all of the medical staff here. She's the one that gets the EMTs together.
She's also one of the head EMTs at RollerCon every year.
And she just does double and triple duty for tournaments and for bouts and everything.
She never gives up.
She just trucks along like a trooper and does what she can to make everybody's life easier. And every time I see her, she gives me a huge smile and a ginormous hug to boot. So.
And I gotta say, working on RollerCon for so many years with her, you never see her in a bad mood, even if it's a really rough day.
Yep.
You know, even if she's a little tired, she won't let on to it because she just wants to make sure everybody is taken care of. She is a wonderful woman. If you ever get to meet her, you should count yourself lucky, and you should definitely give her at least a double high five.
Oh,
possibly
definitely.
Follow it up with a hug if she lets you.
I think she probably would. She's pretty flexible.
She's really sweet. She's really sweet.
She's pretty good about that kind of thing.
But yeah, thank you so much to all the men and women that make up our officiating staff here. This has been a great tournament, and it's only day one. It's only the first half of day one.
Well, you know what makes Derby? I gotta tell a little story. We were talking earlier about how my other half and I are on this road trip in this RV that we bought, which is terrible because this thing is 1,000,000 years old. I mean, it's older than me. And Christopher Harrell, who's sitting here to my left on the bench for Magic City, is my cyber mechanic.
Number 69, dude.
Here's what happens. I post things on Facebook, and he just says, "Oh, here's how you fix that, Julia." And then I fix it, and I go on my way. And because of him, I have this working RV, which is amazing. You know?
He's a pretty wonderful guy.
And those are the little things about Derby that make it such a cool family. You know, you have people supporting Muffin here and her time of need, and Christopher and people like that. Hey, we have Derby back.
And we got people like Derek Calkins that consistently get lead jammer.
It just happened, and I didn't even notice it was happening.
That just happened. Earl Slick trying to put the hurt on him.
We got a bunch of people in the penalty box, so we're pretty evenly matched still, but that's a really tiny, tiny pack out there.
That is a very tiny pack. Earl was calling for a bridge. They did try to do it. Hollywood Chuck's hit was just a split second off. Quadzilla now back out of the box onto the track.
So for those of you not aware of what happened during the timeout, there was a bunch of penalties issued and a bunch of people went to the penalty box. And then as we were working on that jam that just came up, we had the penalties finished and everybody's back on now.
Yep. A little bit of chaos, a lot of bit of awesome. So Quadzilla is now out of the pack. And the jam gets called. Derek is using excellent time management, if you ask me.
Oh, definitely. And he's just kind of stretching it out just enough to put a couple extra seconds on the back there.
Yep.
But Puget Sound just jumping out, ready to go, ready to try and rack up some extra points and close that point differential, which they would still have time to do at this point, I think.
Stand aside, Gino Evil, Mo Diesel, and I can't quite see who the other blocker is. Sorry, oh, Speed Dealer, duh, are out there making up the pack for Puget.
And we have like Mega, Heath Frazier, and Christopher Harrell out there at the same time. Those are two big dudes. Corey Payne just barreling through, like right past Magic City's number 19, Jeremy Strecker, just zipping his way through.
Look at his uniform. Look at Corey Payne's uniform. When he started this game, it was bright and shiny yellow. And now it is smeared and beautifully dirty because he has been working so hard and taking so many hits. He has so many numbers all over his jersey.
Yes. And look, they have to let him go again.
That is phenomenal.
And he's always a mess like that. It's just crazy. I was looking at him and saying, what have you been rolling on the floor?
Yeah, well, you know. On his skates, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So Corey Payne gets out again. Let's see how many points he picked up. It's going to be 5 more points for Puget Sound.
And this is, like I said, the way this is going to, he's taking advantage of that power jam situation and just Puget's backing it up and slowing down the pack, and he's just barreling his way through. He's not going to strategize. He's just jumping his way through. I just hope that
Puget is aware that the jammer now is, thank you, Puget, for reading my mind.
Frazier out. We have the jammer back out, and Corey Payne calling off the jam right as Derek Hawkins hits the back of the pack, just like Val Capone said it would happen, and we are on to the next jam.
Good call, Corey Payne. 97 on the board for Puget Sound, 173 for Magic City. 11:25 on the period clock. So we got a 4th minor being assessed to Mega Sore Ass. He's going to have to get up and go to the penalty box.
Looks like we have a little discussion about what's going to happen. Meow Mix giving Chuck Best a little yank on his pants.
It was like she was like Sandman Simpson at the Apollo. Like, nope. She grabbed him with her giant hook and pulled him backstage.
She was like, no, sir.
Hollywood out for lead jammer for Puget Sound. Fighting his way through. That's John Weichel. Like Michael.
He's stuck right behind Speed Dealer. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
That's Thunderstruck.
That's Thunderstruck that he's stuck behind. He has to let him go, though. But by that time, we have got Chuck Hendrick to the back of the pack again, trying to get a jump around from Thunderstruck. Getting a big high five from TJ Binkley there. He's going to keep doing it because it's funny.
Just the tip.
Just the tip, yep.
Just the tip of the iceberg.
I think we're past that by now, huh? 7:30, 173 to 99. So the iceberg may be popping up a little faster than we thought.
Oh, we're getting a little chuckle from our production crew. I love that.
We're being a little silly up here, but we're enjoying ourselves. I'm enjoying myself.
I'm always enjoying myself. Life is too short not to.
Oh, definitely. Christopher Smith, I'm sorry.
That's quite all right.
You were going to say?
I was going to say Scott Slamilton also has a nice subtle array of color added to his jersey.
He has a little star on his helmet.
Yeah, he sure does. And he's got some nice black smears all over his shoulders. That means he's been barreling through.
We got 2 jammers up to the line. We do have a bunch of people. It looks like TJ Brinkley and Keith Frazier in the box for Puget Sound. Or excuse me, for Magic City. Pardon me.
Wow, Scott has taken on your virtual mechanic, and he won that battle. Gets past, picks a few more numbers up.
Scott Slamilton just battling his way through that. It's hard to do, man. Christopher Harrell is a big fella.
Powder getting past Quadzilla, but has to get past Earl Slick. Powder just steps over Scott Slamilton, who is lead jammer, and calls the jam after picking up 5 points. So Puget Sound has broke the century mark. There's just under 9.5 minutes left to go. 104 for Puget, 173 for Magic City.
And for these 2 teams, that is not a big point differential, honestly.
No,
even in this
not
amount of time. I mean, that's a couple of big jams, and you're on your way again. So it's for teams like this, I just never think until the very end what the score could even possibly be. So it looks like we that must be Chuck Best behind. I can't see the jammer. I think it's Chuck Best. We just took a big hit upside the head. Excuse me, John Weichel from Chuck Hendrick. Chuck Hendrick drawing the penalty for that.
Stand aside, drawing lead jammer as he exits the pack legally first.
Chuck Hendrick is going to have to wait on that penalty because the penalty box is full, so he is back out.
He is in queue. Stand aside, gets past, calls the jam. 4 more points awarded to Puget Sound.
Chuck Hendrick waiting on his penalty.
All right, and coming up next for you guys at home, we have the Bridgetown Menace from Portland Men's Roller Derby taking on the Mass Maelstrom.
And boy, howdy, that Mass Maelstrom bout earlier today was amazing.
Yeah, against your mom?
They took on Des Moines, and everybody thought it was going to be this big blowout, and Mass Maelstrom just gave them a piece of it.
And, you know, Portland did the very same against New York Stock Exchange.
Definitely. Thunderstruck pulling out. He is not the lead jammer. Looks like your lead jammer is number 44.
That's Sheffers.
The chef.
I'm going to call him Sheffers, so he has another name.
From now on?
Yeah, Sheffers.
You know, he answers to just about anything I've noticed, so you're pretty good either way.
You know, and again, that is a wonderful skater right there.
Oh, yeah.
Chef is phenomenal. I love having him on the bench as a teammate or as somebody that I'm bench coaching.
And he's super cool to be around. I mean, he just moved to Kansas City. He has all these great stories. He's on an adventure. When I emailed him and said, what's going on? He said, I'm opening a door and I'm going to walk through it and see what happens.
And I just
thought, geez.
Mike is that kind of good guy. Mike Howard.
You know, he said, you tell me about your adventure, I'll tell you about mine, and we'll trade stories.
Yeah, he's excellent. And you know what? He's pretty good on the track as well. Got to add that in there. He's always willing to play any position you need him to.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And I know that you played with a couple of these guys out at RollerCon this year, and as far as I can tell, you just had a blast.
Oh, yeah, always. I mean, that's why I specifically said, please, 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 can I call this game? Not only would it be such an exciting matchup as we've seen.
Definitely.
But, you know, it's kind of exciting to see the brothers that you've skated with on the track for years, even if it's only just once a year in that one game, jocks versus nerds or what have you. And there you go. John Weichel out once again.
Scott Slamilton trying to get around Megasaurus. Megasaurus taking a big tumble, zipping around number 45, Jason Mosley, and catching up very fast to John Weichel. John Weichel taking on Radilak, the sole blocker in this game. And Magic City trying to back it way up.
And that's going to be a cut. Wow, that is kind of surprising to me that John Weichel would take that cut. It was a major cut. He was the only blocker for Puget out there that is a major cut.
And here for the first time in this stadium, I can hear people
upset
people
by that call. Were not happy about it, but I got to say that was a correct call that was made. And you know what? Just because you didn't like it doesn't mean it was wrong.
Scott Slamilton taking a big hit from Heath Frazier there. He is back almost to full strength. We've got Radilak and Speed Dealer blocking for Puget Sound now, so he's got a little bit more help, but he's having a rough time with this blocking for Magic City.
Yeah, Megasaurus, he put his hands up. I think he was waiting for the call. I don't believe that was intentional. Megasaurus has a lot of height on Scott. Scott clipped Megasaurus, took a face plant on the ground, picked up 5 points in the process, though.
Definitely, but Mega will have to take that penalty, and so he'll be sitting for a couple of minutes there. Looks like Chuck Best.
Wow, Chuck Best with a giant sternum block. But Scott Slamilton getting up like, I'm sorry, did you do something to me? Because that's a check. I'm past you.
Well, that's exactly Chuck Best's style to do that. But Scott Slamilton kind of knowing it was coming, taking the hit and jumping right back up. And he's just going to come right back up to the back of Jason Mosley and Jeremy Strecker here and try and push his way through. So. And
there's John Weichel pushing his way through legally through the pack. He's got one blocker left at the top of the pack. Chuck says, by all means, my friend.
And it looks like we do not have a lead jammer here in this jam. So we're just going to keep going for 2 minutes and see what happens. Both jammers here picking up a few points, so we won't reassess that until afterwards. And the jam is over. So I'm going to wait for the scoreboard to catch up here a little bit and see what we have going on.
All right, we have 5 minutes and 4 seconds. And there's going to be a team timeout assessed to the bench of the Puget Sound Outcasts Derby.
177 to 122 in favor of Magic City. And just to remind you again, we are using Ringster to run all of our stats. Ringster, record, publish, put out Derby stats in real time. So if you're doing a Derby bout out there and you're a new league or you're a league who hasn't used Ringster before, they really are a fantastic program. They run all your stats for you. You can pull things up on that, and we're absolutely loving it here. We're running almost all the stats we have here on Ringster, and it's absolutely amazing for us. So check that out, ringster.com, and they can give you all the information.
And I gotta say, Ringster is not only great for stats, but it's an easy program to learn and work with, and that's what I love about it. It's very user-friendly. I remember back in the day, if you had to change something on the scoreboard, you had to shut everything down and reboot it, and if you try to alter somebody's name, you ran the risk of like shocking the system and freezing everything out. I mean, Bridgetown Menace, in their last game, they said, we would like to have Menace on the scoreboard. Can we make that a reality? And boom, instantly.
And they just did it.
Yeah, it was just rad. Your scoreboard is easily, readily accessible and editable. Thank you. I believe that's a Ringster invention, so thank you.
Yeah, Ringster is created by Derby folk, too.
Yep.
So Thunderstruck pulling out in front of the pack there, but he will not be your lead jammer.
So we got Chef cooking some stuff up, jamming. For Magic City, he's got one blocker.
Big hit from Ryrod there around the corner.
Sheffer's out for lead jammer, does his job, gets through, calls the jam. I'm not sure if he saw, but Thunderstruck's going to the box. Either way, that's very advantageous for Chef and Magic City. Thunderstruck, the jammer, going to the box. Chef says, what? Oh, man. But still, you get to reset, put in a fresh set of legs, and let's take a look at who they're putting out.
Right, and just take a fresh look at it, and you have somebody that's ready to go, and it will be Jeremy Strecker.
I'm pretty sure Jeremy's always ready to go when it comes to roller derby.
Excellent choice, I think.
And I could be wrong because I can't really see him. I just see fingers waving in the air, taking an intentional minor. That is Chuck Best at the back of the pack.
So Jeremy Strecker lined up as the only jammer in this jam against Puget Sound for the next one. Well, Thunderstruck takes his seat in the box, and it looks like we have a full Puget Sound box, so he will be up against, looks like Gino Evil and Chuck Hendrick.
Speed Dealer is standing at attention, though. That means he has 10 seconds or less left on the penalty box time.
And we've got about 4 minutes left in this bout, ladies and gentlemen, so it's going to get really exciting here really fast, as if it isn't exciting enough. Jeremy Strecker taking a big hit from Chuck Hendrick, and then another one from Gino Evil.
Giant hit from Gino Evil.
Gino Evil backing up. Jeremy Strecker coming in front of him.
Now, there's only 54 points separating these two teams, if I'm not mistaken. But Jeremy Strecker being out there unopposed, it's really not going to help out Puget Sound. Jeremy trying to fight past Speed Dealer. He does. Gets 5 points in the process.
Jeremy Strecker picking up that grand slam and coming back around. Magic City slowing the pack way, way down to try and give him a lead through. Gino and Speed Dealer up at the front there trying to keep him, but Speed Dealer has to let him go. And he's going to pick up 5 more points.
I got to say, Julia, if this is the kind of action we're going to see on day one, first half of the whole tournament, my mind is going to melt tomorrow.
Can you imagine what's going to happen tomorrow at 7 o'clock during the championship?
I can't wait to see it, my friend.
Speed Dealer going after Jeremy Strecker again, but has to let him go once again. Jeremy Strecker just racking up the points out there. Puget Sound almost back up at full strength. Chuck Best coming back after that intentional minor.
John Weichel looking for a penalty call, does not receive it.
Boy, and just like that, Gino Evil into the penalty box. So Puget Sound running into a lot of penalty trouble here in the second half.
Thunderstruck fighting his way past Chuck Best. Chuck Best looking to slow down Speed Dealer.
Jeremy Strecker, I think, watching that clock, watching the other jammer, but trying to drain as much time as he can off of that clock. Chuck Best very excited, knowing that they're working hard. Magic City just working like a well-oiled machine out there.
As a team is what I was going to say,
absolutely amazing. And they're digging it. You can see how happy they are. They're enjoying themselves.
We're watching them hug each other on the bench. And, like, look at all the smiles on their bench. Right now, they're pretty damn happy. They're pretty proud of their performance.
I remember the first tournament they came out for spring roll and skated, and they just had such a rough time because their style of derby was different, and they weren't really working as a team. And I see these guys year after year after year, and they're loving derby.
They're more cohesive as a unit and as a family.
And they're working together to get this goal instead of working as individuals. And they're such strong individuals that that's hard to do, I think. But they've really worked hard at that.
I'm a little confused. Thunderstruck has returned to the track because he's been called back due to penalty. But on the last jam, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he the jammer? Yes, he was. Okay, boom. So why would he be waiting on the track? Wouldn't he just, thank you, take a seat in the penalty box like he is?
Okay,
all right, well, I was heavily confused right there.
Val Capone was catching things that the refs were also catching. Sort of like real-time realization of that. So we have it all sorted out. We have Thunderstruck in the box for Puget Sound along with Chuck Hendrick and Gino Evil. Magic City's penalty box is empty. They are working at full strength, and so we have Radalac and
Stand Aside
up there that are going to be facing what looks like Chuck Best standing with the jammer panty on. Jeremy Strecker, captain of Magic City, waiting to chat with the officials. Breathe in heavy, just
taking some pretty deep breaths, just trying to keep even keel about it.
Meow Mix coming around to chat with her captain and the officials, seeing what happened there.
123 to 196, 2 minutes and 34 seconds left. Again, we are in official timeout, so it's officially time once again to say thank you to our sponsors so much, to Green Monster, no vowels needed, greenmonster.com. Vanilla Skates, thank you so much to Vanilla Skates, who many of the skaters on Magic City are involved in heavily.
Definitely. Excellent reps for that company.
Yeah,
boy.
Totally.
They rock it.
Also, locally, we have a radio station. So if you tune into 88.1 KDHX today to hear real DJs playing actual music you won't hear anywhere else, and stream it all online at kdhx.org.
None of that fake music for 88.1.
No.
Just real music.
No. independent music plays here.
I don't know who they're waving at.
I'm going to go with us.
Yeah, I think Meow and Jeremy Strecker are waving at us.
And even if they're not, they're still waving
And they're getting
at us.
a heck of a team, I feel like. We have Spider and Bob Noxious over here to our right.
Yep.
You know, doing the live call here in-house. We got you coming in from Chicago to do this with us. Holy cow.
Was that a Chicago Harry Carey reference? Thank you for that. Holy cow.
I love Harry Carey, though.
Yeah.
Holy
hey, everybody.
Cow.
Thank you. And you, Little Miss Globetrotter, at least in America.
I'm kind of like a rogue announcer out for hire. I'll kind of do anything.
Yeah, that's what I love about you. Ready for anything at any time if it's for the love of Derby. All right, so we got things underway now. Not quite sure how this happened. Maybe they retracted their statement. Wow, Chuck Best almost going down at the hands of Quadzilla. Stand aside.
Woo, stand aside, keeping his balance there against Powder. Kind of amazing.
Certainly. So it looks like Thunderstruck was not in the box. Stand aside is now downing the Jam Star. Facing off against Chuck Best.
Chuck Best kind of rolling his way carefully along the outside there, trying to get around. Stand aside, trying to rack up a few extra points there. Not your lead jammer. Doesn't look like we have a lead jammer yet.
Well, but we do have a track cut major from Chuck Best.
Chuck Best having to go all the way around the track because he's past the point of no return again. And it'll be a minute till he starts his penalties. Powder taking a big twist around. Oh my goodness, that looked painful, but he just popped right back up.
Certainly did. And now it looks like Magic City has a revolving door on their penalty box.
Yeah,
People keep getting back on the track, leaving the track, getting back on the track, leaving the track. Stand aside is trying to break through the pack.
Well, this is it. Whoa, getting a big hit from
Mega. Woofda.
Just painful. And this is a great opportunity for Puget to try and rack up some points, but Megasaurus is having none of it. He just doesn't think that's okay, and so he just keeps going after him. And
Stand aside is out, and after more points, 5 points picked up by the Puget Sound Outcasts.
He just keeps battling it out with Heath over there and trying to get around, so good for him. Magic City, again, going to stop that pack and just slow it way, way down. And they're going to push him out, jump way, way back, and make him come in and just roll that clock down. And we're at less than a minute till this bout is over, ladies and gentlemen, and we will have the next bracket set for roller derby for the rest of this weekend.
Stand aside picks up 5 more points. And the jam gets called with just about 30 seconds left. We are going to have time for one more jam, Julia.
And Chuck Best just out of the penalty box before that happens, so we will have 2 jammers to start out this jam.
Well, that's exciting.
And a full complement of blockers, which is a kind of a rarity.
Yeah, in the second half of this game, it certainly has been.
Oh, I spoke too soon. Derek Calkins is in the box.
There you go. That's what happens. Announcing 101. You say it, the exact opposite will happen instantly.
Yeah. Don't say that thing.
22 seconds left on the period clock. We will have time for at least one more jam. 138 on the board for Puget Sound Outcast Derby, and 198, 60 points separating these two teams for Magic City Misfits. I gotta say though, you know, we did talk about what an intense, exciting bout this is gonna be, and it completely lived up to the hype that we built for ourselves.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
I'm never disappointed when I see these two teams play, seriously. And this is the first time.
And having them play against each other.
This is the first time they've ever done that. These two teams have never faced each other before today.
Really?
Ever.
Huh.
This is the very first time. It's a fun little stat there for you guys at home.
Fun fact.
They've always been at tournaments together and things like that, but they have never actually played against each other. So this is a first for both teams. And my curiosity is going to be to talk to these guys later and just see what they thought of the whole thing. You know, did you enjoy it? What did you think of the team's style of play? Things like that, because I'm always curious to hear things like that. So that's going to be fun to know. We got Jeremy Strecker and Corey Payne up to the line to jam.
Corey's jersey just gets dirtier and dirtier every time we see him. It's amazing.
Looks like a Jeremy Strecker jumping over the Puget Sound blockers to try and get past. Stunning work there. Oh my goodness, and he's going to take the penalty over here on the side.
That's all right, because Corey Payne's pretty excited about that. He did get lead jammer, so he's going to be jamming unopposed. Now, they may not be able to pull out this win because I have never heard of a 60-point jam, but what they are going to be able to do is close that gap. As long as he can skate clean,
And he's just going to keep skating till the end. That's what makes these teams so great is they just skate it out until it's actually done. And he's going to run up against Derek Hawkins, just push his way through and just keep skating away.
That was pretty excellent. Corey Payne jamming out there like he's a full force blocker. And he is a very good blocker, don't get me wrong.
And it looks like we have Ryrod headed to the penalty box to sit out the rest of this bout in the penalty box. The game clock is done. This bout is actually finished. Jam clock has a little under a minute left on it. And the jam clock rules. So as soon as that jam clock goes off, and my guess is that Corey will just run the clock.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly would if I were him. And I'm pretty sure his bench wants to see him get as many points as he can.
So he's going to get up behind TJ Binkley and John Weichel right there. And
he's kind of using Scott Slamilton as a battering ram,
get
throwing Scott into the opposition, picking up 5 more points. Definitely closing the gap, showing people that Puget Sound is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, definitely.
I think they just ran into some penalty trouble, and bottom line is you got to stay out of the box if you want to win at roller derby.
Oh, definitely, and especially against a team like Magic City who will just utilize that space.
Earl Slick and Jeremy Strucker going face to face. Corey Payne out of the pack again, 5 more points. Mo Diesel's going to have to let him go.
Jeremy Strecker trying to catch up with Corey Payne. Corey Payne getting a whip around.
Yeah, from Ryrod. And it looks like the jam expired.
So we're going to wait for a final score here for a minute while they reassess the points and get that taken care of. But Magic City, Puget Sound here in St. Louis, what an incredible bout.
And it looks like we are going to have our final. That is 161 to 199.
And this in favor of the Magic City Misfits from Jacksonville, Florida. What an amazing bout, Val Capone.
Oh, I feel so lucky and so thankful and so privileged to have called this game. It was just a phenomenal experience from top to bottom. 2 of my favorite men's leagues. Excellent athletes. Wonderful guys off the track. Agile, brutal, graceful, trick skaters, speed skaters. It's everything that I love to see in flat track roller derby.
Well, this is just an amazing group of talent right
in
front of
100%.
us. It's just incredible. And what I mean, on a personal level, this is the first bout we've ever announced together.
Yeah.
Can you even believe we get Magic City,
we
get
Puget
Sound, and I get Val Capone, and this is
man.
my first bout with you. That's just crazy.
Man, oh man, a Shevitz. And the coolest part about all this is the 2 teams, we cannot reiterate this enough, without talking to each other, decided, you know what, it's October. Let's show the ladies that the dudes support them, and let's preach about some breast cancer awareness.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely check yourself, ladies and gents.
Check other people if you want, if they're okay with that.
I'll check you later, Julia.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm
up for that.
I care about you. But yeah,
that's very thoughtful of you.
I'm a team player. But excellent work by Puget Sound Outcasts. I know it's not the outcome that they wanted, but look at what they did at the end of that game. There was a pretty sizable margin, and they closed that gap.
And nobody is going to disrespect Puget Sound ever.
Never. And why would you? What an excellent, classy league.
Definitely.
Good guys that love derby. Guys that drive for hours just to practice together. Phenomenal league. I truly love the Puget Sound Outcast Derby.
I fully recommend that you all stick around and see the Mass Maelstrom take on Portland.
Oh, that's
right
going to be a
this.
good one.
But just to give
the
you
Maelstrom versus the Menace.
Exactly, and just to give you a quick overview in case you missed some of this, Massachusetts took on. Do we still have feed? I'm sorry, I got to click there. I thought we didn't have feed. Massachusetts took on earlier today. Your Mom Des Moines Roller Derby, which is #1 ranked in the nation. And earlier today, Portland took on New York, which won the
defending champs
last year. And so you have 2, and it was on both of those games, it was a much different outcome than people thought. These 2 teams just battled it. And I am so curious to see them play each other now after that, because I just think that's going to be a crazy bout to watch.
Well, we're going to let you do just that. You're going to see the Maelstrom taking the track right now in their white jerseys. The Maelstrom versus the Menace are going to be playing up next.
Very funny.
I'm Val Capone. I got to be me, right?
Very funny, very funny.
Yeah, the MRDA sure doesn't mind when we have a little fun on the mic. It's a wonderful
it.
time. Thank you so much to the guys for for learning the ladies' game and playing it well.
Definitely, and thank you for coming out from Chicago, Val, to do this with me. So much appreciated.
Well, and thanks to all the ladies from the WFTDA for all the support. I did see Grace Killey, or Anna Kraychek, rhymes with paycheck. That's how you can remember how to say her name. So it's really great to see that the WFTDA certainly supports what we're doing here today in the MRDA. Anyway, we're gonna wrap things up and let you daydream about the bout you're about to see.
If you want an update on any of these bouts, please check out DerbyNewsNetwork.com. They are working hard to get you updates on all of these as we speak, and so check that out, and we will see you at the next bout.